everyone. Experience with AI-driven personalization and analytics. For this, I would request Ms. Preita Puri, Vice President Sales and Marketing Aurionpro. Preita is the head of business operations for Interact Suite at Aurionpro, bringing over 15 years of experience in driving growth across marketing, sales, and strategic business operations. She plays a pivotal role in scaling the Interact Suite's presence across key industries by aligning product capabilities with evolving market needs. With a strong focus on customer-centric strategies and operational excellence, she is instrumental in delivering value-driven outcomes and enhancing Aurionpro's position as a leader in digital customer experience. Can we have a huge round of applause for Ms. Preita Puri?
Thank you everyone. Thanks for coming and being a part of this today. So, as customer experience professionals, we're often looking at how do we get ahead with futuring or like doing better customer communications and experience for all our end clients. A topic that we'll be talking about today is how we can do better and more creative communications, and what are some of the techniques that we are doing for our clients to kind of help them better their overall customer experience. So as per Gartner, about 81% of companies these days are just competing on providing a better experience for their products or for their experiences. A lot of our, you guys today here would be specifically looking at how we can better engagement, how can we enhance the customer communications, and perhaps even leverage AI, automation, and other techniques to kind of, build these out. So, are you doing enough? That's a very important question that I'm guessing most organizations are asking. Anyone here would like to kind of talk about it or maybe share some insights on, do you think you're doing enough to kind of better the engagement or the experience overall? No? Okay. Well, I think everyone is trying. Everybody's really trying to push their limits, and but we're not sure on how much success we're possibly getting, right? Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. And customers are also demanding more, right? Customers are constantly asking for better value. They're asking for 24-hour service. They're asking for, more ease of use, better techniques. We want customers to also build an emotional connection. I think while the transactional communications are doing their bit, customers are not relating to brands as they used to be. The stickiness is not there anymore. So yes, absolutely. Right. Absolutely. Correct. And I think why is that Kirana store being able to still hold their customer base, right? It's most likely because you're connected to that person who's running that store, or he feels like a neighborhood kind of a thing that a big bazaar or a future bazaar and all may not feel. You will not feel that connect. You will come, purchase and leave, but that bond that you will share with that Kirana wala uncle when you walk into his store, the small conversations you have, that will not be able to replicate at these big box retailers, right? So, so brands, while we're trying to kind of, speak more, engage more, send out more and more communications, often they're disconnected. The experience the customer has on the different touch points is not as seamless as it should be. And I think more and more we're getting better at doing this, but I don't think we're probably 100% there yet. And organizations are also kind of struggling to match pace when it comes to the end client's expectations. And to bridge this, I think a little bit of automation, a little bit of AI is potentially kind of helping us, but of course there are pros and cons to both of these things as well. So some challenges, and I'm kind of highlighting banking, insurance, and retail because I think a large majority of you guys are probably from some of these industries. Some of the challenges that we've heard from our customers are delays when it comes to onboarding their clients, fragmented communications. How do we kind of keep pushing them to stay connected with us to upsell or cross-sell our alternate products? Specific to banking, at least from an insurance point of view, we're seeing poor engagement rates once policies are being purchased, or a higher churn at the time of renewals. There is no connection to a lot of the brands, so whichever one offers the cheapest price, we tend to kind of migrate our business there. And from a retail industry standpoint, at least, there's a lot of brand fatigue. We're being bombarded on a daily basis by numerous communications, on whether it is on the phone, there are spam calls. WhatsApp is also no longer a personal communication app that it used to be anymore. SMS and email, I think most of us have probably started ignoring for the bulk of it. Any other challenges that you would like to highlight as professionals here that maybe we could also kind of table? Yeah. Yes, absolutely. I get at least 10 in a week maybe, which is an automated IVR call that is selling me some product. Yeah. But see, despite all the tightening on the norms itself, right, we're all being overly bombarded, and I think the effectivity of each of these is also reducing. The same calls that I would potentially previously answer from an unknown number are now I either block or we tend not to answer them at all. WhatsApp also is being kind of taken over by a lot of brands, so the effectivity of those communications are also much lesser, and similar for email and other tools as well. So what can we do, right? While we all know the problems, are there any solutions that maybe you guys are doing and that's working for you all? Yeah? Anything? Okay. So, I mean, just tabling the question out there, I think everyone is trying different things, and we're all trying to achieve some success there. A little bit about what we do. Aurionpro as a group, we're founded in 1997, and we have about offices in 24 offices in 14 countries, and a team of about 1,400 people approximately. And we have various solutions, but the one that we're kind of focusing on today would be our customer experience suite. Some of the key clients that we have seem to be able to provide value to across the globe would be a lot of banks, insurance companies, telecom operators, some retail as well. And what we do. So we have it's called Interact Suite. It's a customer experience and a customer communication hub platform, and that's called Interact DX. Along with that, we basically do customer experience solutions, as we call it, but it's essentially microsite or micro-portal based solutions that enable our end enterprise clients to send specific information to their end customers in a easy to navigate and easy to interact with format. We also do agentic AI based videos, and we have our entire suite of campaign management and analytics as well. So I know while we do talk about analytics, on collecting too much data that we just kind of heard about, it's also important to gather some. So where that balance is potentially questionable, but we essentially do help our clients collect some significant data to kind of power their communications better. I'd like to quickly show you more than just talk about. So our CCM Hub solution, or the Interact DX, that is basically it helps organizations transform their entire communication needs. So we have a template designer, and we have a tool that kind of creates the repository for all communication. So one of the challenges that we spoke about is maintaining consistency across touch points and having a seamless kind of an experience across all various channels that we can kind of take care through our CCM Hub solution. we'll quickly like to just walk you through one of the. Yeah, okay. Sorry, guys, just 1 second. So we put together, we do a lot of statements for banks. We do a lot of policy kits for insurance companies and bills and invoices as well. So one of the latest things that we started doing is designing of these PDFs or the communications that are going out to the end customers better. I think we're having some trouble opening it. Okay. We can potentially come back to it, no worries. It's not even going back and forth.
May I, by the time you're trying to figure that out,
Yes, please.
when you said you got into designing the kit, policy document or the things for the insurance companies, with a lot of things going into digital medium and
Yes.
maybe PDFs and all. So with the insurance company or any insurance, see, basically we are not selling any tangible asset. It is just a promise. And when earlier we are sending the hard copy versus now a PDF, so the connect we spoke earlier is reducing by the time. So, and with time, I think that connect we had with at least a document in place is without a document now. My email ID may not be accessible to my wife. But at least a hard copy which is accessible right now, maybe they are not there, but somebody is able to get that. So how are these things now when we are moving too much into digital platforms? How does that connect increase? Are we not losing that touch?
It depends, right? See, sometimes that paper, we were holding it, filing it, storing it, but over time, most of them, we lose them as well. I don't know how many of us are actually maintaining that physical paper that we used to get. A lot of times we get mail that comes and often even gets unopened and is just lying somewhere or tossed in the dustbin. But important documents such as policy kits or statements, etc., you want people to view, you want them to save. Most likely, even though these are digital communications now, people are at least archiving them somewhere in an important folder. You could potentially take a printout and store it if you still prefer the physical, tangible piece. But, that letter that you used to get in the mail, which was just essentially like a really long document where I'm not even sure if you would have read the fine print. How do we navigate that, right? A lot of our insurance companies are having issues when it comes to settlement ratios, because most often policyholders that are purchasing these policies from agents may not even know what is exactly being purchased, and a lot of misrepresentation is happening. So that's one of the challenges that we are trying to tackle, right? So we are trying to over-communicate maybe in a way. We're sending more information, we're doing a lot of videos, we're doing a lot of more personalized communication in a way. They also look better, they feel better. So we are able to perhaps build a better connect, at least because it appeals more to the end customer. I think as the younger generation is more, purchasing these products compared to a relatively older one, you have to understand that their mind space is fairly limited. They're not going to be reading 20 document pages. They probably want the gist of it summarized in a page, and they should have all the information available at their fingertips, and that's pretty much it. Yes?
Yeah, good morning, ma'am. I am from the cement industry, basically, and I can see a lot of colleagues and friends from, say, banking and insurance. I don't know whether it is relevant to share, but let me share my
Absolutely.
Experience. Because anyway, everybody has a customer, and consumers as well as customer.
Correct.
So I represent the, say, technical service where we help the end consumer to make their structures, building strong and durable. So we take in this way that the end consumers are not that much literate if you move out of Mumbai or out of Tier 1 or Tier 2 cities, right? And customer base is across Pan India. So we have developed a team of, say, qualified civil engineers to take care of the customer services. Because I think everybody will agree that you can't do much in the product, because products are more or less maybe 1920, company to company, and even in your field also.
Absolutely.
But I think the biggest challenge is that how you can add more values to the customer by creating the differentiation. And I think there, then if you can pitch in there, I think then you get the success, say. So for that, say we have the various value-added services for the end consumers, those who undergoes their construction. Because let us understand the customer and consumer who is building his house. He may be a farmer or teacher or something like that. And he doesn't have the experience of building the houses. So we try to help them during the journey of construction. And every customer has some hassles during the construction. If we can find out the, say, hassles, and if we are successful in adding value and removing their hassles, then I think we can win the customer, and that becomes the brand ambassador also for your brand also.
Absolutely.
So I think that is where we are working. Say, I thought maybe relevant or not, but I thought let me share my experience also.
Thank you. Thank you. Actually, bringing one point which I will absolutely agree with you is consumer is not that aware. I mean, we as a company, we presume that our consumer must be. Me in insurance company, I will assume that insurance, everybody must know it. It's a must for them. But similarly, for when you gave example for cement, I also used to think, boss, how does that make a difference whether I buy A cement company or B cement company? But since you know your product better, it is your responsibility to communicate back to the customer. So amazing.
Yeah, I think it's important because you have that trust, right? You want to buy a cement that you trust that will keep your house safe and secure for a long, long time, because you're probably not building every year or every 2 years.
Again, just from moving ahead from trust, more than trust, it is advertisement that is pushing me by a brand. Because as a consumer, I do not know.
Correct.
Great, thanks.
Great. Is anyone saying something? Okay. So this is something that we've done for a bank overseas to kind of help them display a consolidated statement to their end customers. So one, we're trying to provide lesser points of communication. So instead of sending them a separate card statement, a separate statement for their savings account, separate wealth, etc., kind of combine everything, consolidate it, put it in one document that potentially would save them the hassle of navigating through, many. We can do a lot of charts and drill downs, so allow the customer to kind of have a visual representation of their data. And we can also do advertising space, we can do QR codes, we can do lots of interesting things. This entire template, the creation, the design of it could be created from our interface itself. So there's a lot of power in the hands of the bank or our end clients essentially to kind of create templates on the fly, to customize them with a lot of ease, and depending on the data that they're getting back from the customer in terms of how easy or not so easy it is to navigate, we can kind of iterate on this really, really quickly. Yeah. So the idea here is that we want to make it more appealing and kind of build a connection at least from the design element of the communication, instead of having plain Jane communications that go out. And at least we've started seeing some significant results from customers being able to kind of connect better. Our flagship product right now is the microsite-based portal or the customer experience portal, wherein now what we've started doing is, instead of the PDFs, we've kind of started pushing out micro portals to the customer that are fully personalized and generated on the fly, and all the data is customizable. It's not playing? Okay. Maybe we'll come back to just try to open it up and give. Yeah. But it's stuck again. And then we have a lot of agentic AI based video solutions. So these are actually very interesting right now, because while most of us have seen a lot of YouTube communications and other videos that are being targeted to the customers, these ones specifically have call to action buttons that are inbuilt. So one of the advantages that the clients have is that, suppose if it's a walkthrough or a tutorial or or even a transactional video where you want someone to pay a bill, etc., from within the communication, they can click and get the transaction done from there itself. We have a lot of our clients that are looking at it from a pre-sales kind of an approach where we're trying to do better and more dynamic communications that could have your name, your other details, etc., that would address the customer more personally. So that little contact or that little emotional connection that we're trying to build with the customers, is kind of happening at least a little bit better than the generic videos that, And apart from that, we have a campaign management and a digital marketing or a MarTech platform that essentially allows allows for campaign creation, segmentation. A lot of data analytics capabilities are built in as well, and the entire 360 view that we would like to provide from a consistent basis to the client that can be achieved through this product also. And a very, very important feature right now, I think we already kind of spoke about, is that we have customers all across India, or even some of you might have global customers. And English, while it's a common language, is not a language of choice for a lot of clients. So multilingual communications, we're seeing kind of also now mandated in a lot of places, by government, and also some companies are putting in the extra effort to kind of build that connect with the end customer. These, definitely enhance the overall experience because customers feel more connected if they're spoken to in their regional languages. And we are able to achieve almost all Indian languages and also most foreign languages currently through our product. And why Interact Suite? So, most of the clients that we're working with are seeing a reduction in their back-end operation costs by at least 30%. We're seeing print communications now anyways almost dying out, so print communications costs are also going down. A lot of times creating new templates take a lot of time, but because we have our own tools that are built into the product itself, these could be done on the fly very, very quickly. And we are also used to handle a lot of volume. So we do about 100 to 120 million, communications that we broadcast on a monthly basis. And another important aspect about it is that, we can do a lot of ads that are inbuilt or, relevant, ad space. So segmentation could be done. There could be static ad space. There could be dynamic ad space that is built into the product, and hopefully kind of gives better results to kind of upsell and cross-sell. You cannot play anything. So it's done now. I'd like to quickly show you the video if it's working. I think we're facing some sort of technical difficulties. Yeah. It's loading. Okay, I think just 2 minutes it should probably load. Any questions in the meanwhile? Anything that you guys would like to touch upon?
Yes, I was waiting for this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
When you said communicate, interact, and everything, and with Gen Zs, millennials, alphas, basically the Gen Zs and alpha being our new customer base, and with them being, they don't have that too much retention, or they don't want to engage into any communication that is taking too long.
Yeah.
So how do we think this entire communication is going to move in future? Any thought we have already given to it, or how is it?
See, at least from what we are thinking, and of course things are changing on a everyday basis, so it's very hard to validate. But mostly the mind space of the consumer is shrinking, and as the mind space is shrinking, you have very little time or attention span to kind of quickly get their attention before they're interested to know more. So maybe you have like a couple of seconds in a video that might engage with that person, or just depending on how visually appealing something looks or is easy to navigate is potentially, something that you can get their attention with. Which is why, again, those the design elements and the visual elements are super important, because most of these customers, they're not reading through a lot of information. They're just maybe skimming at best. So how do you highlight the key things to them is something that, we are consistently working upon. Even from a video standpoint, like, how quickly can I get the key message out to them in the first, 10, 15 seconds, because if I don't have the customer's attention, then I most likely have lost that. So optimizing for these things, is something that we are constantly trying to do.
Thanks.
I think there was another question.
Yeah, hi. This is Mayuresh here from Ingenero. While we are all talking about coming up with chatbots for interaction with customers, I would say still in rural India, say around 60% of population, where about 30% of population is still above 50 age and group. They still miss the interaction that they used to have with an agent. It was a connect with that agent. Now they have to interact through a chatbot. Sometimes they feel really completely different mindset of typing on the chatbot some question and that giving answers. Why not, like today we have on radio there is an AI RJ Sia, where she keeps on talking with people, conveying audience. Why don't we see a kind of a video interactive agent which can interact with those people in multiple languages instead of a chatbot engine? And then interacting, giving the same experience which they have been missing out over these years. I mean, I didn't find any company doing it. I mean, with so much technology available and deep fake videos popping up, but didn't find any company coming up with this idea.
I think you're not far from it. You'll be seeing a lot more of these avatar-based AI videos that will be coming up and kind of replacing a lot of the chatbots. See, chatbots oftentimes also don't give the best result to the end customer. So it's a very frustrating experience because you're typing and you're not getting really what you want to get to. So at least what we're trying to do is one level better than that from our video-based solutions. We have... they are not fully AI agents yet, but maybe in the next couple of months or so we want to get there. But however, what we're trying to do is allow and walk the customer through the entire experience. So you'll see in some of our videos where we have a process that's kind of being automated, where within the video itself the agent will guide them on how do you need to fill out a particular document or a form, and it'll pause there. There's a there is a form within the video itself that somebody can fill out, so they don't have to communicate back and forth with that chatbot, and they can save that information and either download it at the end of it, or it can link to their platform so that they don't even have to drop out from that video to go to the next step. So these are all things that we're kind of innovating on right now, and it's happening. Yes. Play the video.
Hi Dominic, welcome to ICICI Prudential Life Insurance. At ICICI Prudential Life Insurance, we understand the importance of protecting your loved ones. Our life insurance plans are designed to safeguard your family's future, so you can cherish every moment without worry. Calculate your premium easily with our interactive calculator now with benefits such as 7.71 crore lives covered, 30-day return policy, 1-day claim settlement. Enhance your coverage with our rider options for term life plans. Critical Illness Benefit Rider provides financial protection against list of 34 critical illnesses. You can click Accidental Death Benefit Rider, Terminal Illness Benefit Rider, and Permanent Disability Benefit Rider to know more. Click Calculate button to proceed further.
Each of these are
Easily calculate your term premium with our user-friendly premium calculator. Just drag and drop your details.
drag and drop functionality that's built in, where the customer can actually drag and drop and interact within the video itself. And then based on their input, we will be able to calculate.
Here is your customized plan. You qualify for a life cover of 1.50 crore rupees. Click Proceed to continue. Thank you. Introducing our trusted advisor, Mr. Abhishek Singh, who can provide you with expert guidance on term plan. Reach him at 9819208206.
Interact and show you some more options in terms of what exactly we can do. This is a new age bank statement that we've developed for Ujjivan Bank, which is basically a microsite-based, a mini portal for the customer. All the data that you see here is all dynamically generated, and it's an alternate to that PDF that looks a little dull and boring that most of our Gen Z audience at least is not connecting with. Can we scroll? You can have a lot of charts that are inbuilt. These are all drillable. A lot of the data would be, you can segment, you can do a lot of interesting things here. The banners could be segmented based on, they could change depending on the segment of the customer. And we can have a lot of other things also built in. This is a consolidated statement, like I was saying. So instead of having numerous bank statements or points of communication going out, you can consolidate everything into one monthly statement, and it could all be in one place. So it's easier for the customer to save the information. It's easier for them to navigate and get the relevant material that they need. Oftentimes what happens is within the net banking or the apps also, people don't know which section to navigate. A lot of the older audience has trouble going to the right places. So these kind of microsite-based solutions kind of help putting the most important information forward in the easiest to navigate format. Yep. I think that's about it from my side. Any questions, if anyone has, would love to. Yes.
Sorry again. This is what you showed, Ujjivan Bank. What is actually amazing because we relate with what we get a visual effect rather than numbers only, your statements only. That's a good work. Just before that, you played ICICI Prudential video. One query, just out of curiosity, why we all, in most of my ads and such things, we see not a human face, but a creative.
I think there are different theories around that. A lot of brands seem to get better, viewing rates and better, better click-throughs, etc. when there's not human figures involved. Some of them get more with human figures involved. So it just depends. We tend to follow the guidelines that are provided to us by the brand that we work with. And depending on different use cases, depending on different communications, we are able to tailor-make that. I have many with avatars and those kind of communications also. The real life ones typically we don't do because these are personalized, so getting them to shoot and voiceover also nowadays AI is pretty good, so we don't have to do a lot of the dubbing.
Yes, with AI coming into, we don't have to shoot anybody also.
So that's also why you probably see lesser of the human figures there, because most of it is stock.
Thanks.
Any more questions? All right.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you so much, Preita, and thank you so much, everyone.